Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. However, this finds you, I do hope this finds you well. I am not going to be on here for a long time, but I am here for a Spike Lee joint giving time. That is because Highest to Lowest is not a remake. It is Spike Lee returning to New York with the incomparable Denzel Washington by his side, reimagining the 1963 classic High and Low. And let me tell you, this film is everything. It is messy, it is brilliant, it is complicated, there's great music, there's great people in it. It is just worth talking about. That is why I had to come on here and very quickly talk about this movie. So we're going to get right into it. This is spoiler light, so there's that warning, but you're going to want to stick around for longer than 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Got it? Good. Let's get into it. First up, Spike Lee beautifully captures the essence of New York. As a New Yorker born and raised, it's all there. From the opening aerial shots, the Brooklyn Bridge with "Oh, What a Beautiful Morning" playing in the background, the crowded subway, the Puerto Rican Day Parade as the backdrop, the music that's playing throughout. The cinematography swings with the city's rhythm. There are these beautiful wide shots, the coloring, the music, the movement. New York, the energy of it is a character.
So Spike, look, all the folks are in the movie. Jeffrey, Denzel, ASAP. But you know the who is the star that's in your movie all the time? Always in every Spike Lee movie, pretty much. New York City. Come on, brother.
New York City is a character. And listen to this though, my brother.
The subway, the Bronx.
When that script was sent to Denzel, he automatically thought of me to direct it. Because how I feel about New York, the good and the bad, and how I could deliver on screen the greatest city in the world.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, you got Brooklyn, you got Manhattan, you got the high rises downtown, the financial district.
We just happen to leave Staten Island out of it. I don't know why.
You got the Bronx, you got Yankee Stadium.
The
subway is a huge character in the movie.
The cameos.
The incomparable A24 in Southside Orchestra.
I'd be remiss if I didn't give love to the late great Eddie Palmieri.
Yeah, you started off with that. Yeah,
Eddie Palmieri, South Orchestra performs on Puerto Rican Day Parade in this film.
Yeah. And my condolences.
It reminded us that Spike's New York is layered, lived in, and unapologetically black and brown. He is showing it from experience. There were parts in this film when they were in the subway system. And we've all seen this done over the years in many movies, some of my favorites, Coming to America. And they go down into the subway. The subway itself is its own beast. He did such a good job of capturing even the accuracy of the stations. So there's a scene when they go into Borough Hall Station. It's a pretty widely used station here in New York. And he used the exact outside landscape of that station. When they went down into the station, it was what happens when you enter in through that exact entrance of the station. I know that may be small for all y'all who are not from New York, but for me, that was, I see you. I absolutely loved it. Second, the glaring inequity. Y'all, at its core, this is a kidnapping story. Spike Lee leans into intentional contrasts. So I mentioned, these beautiful scenes of New York. And part of that, sadly, is inequity. There is this whole wealth and power, this dynamic that is happening in this movie. The Brooklyn penthouse that the main character lives in actually is going for about $15 million right now. It was 19. I think 2 weeks ago, price went down. So, if you're in the market, I may have to take a look. Anyway, the wealth and power that is sitting in this Brooklyn penthouse versus the underbelly of what's going on uptown in the Bronx, which we experience, is incredibly done.
I mean, look, the drone shot where they live.
Yeah.
And then look at the art on the walls.
Yeah. A couple Basquiat's.
Yeah.
And some of that's your collection, I already know.
I can't. Now, if I said that's my artwork,
yeah, you know
that's
part
a wrong thing to say. You know, Tanya.
David King, Denzel, is a music mogul, and he's sitting on Basquiat's and Wiley's. His wife has a Cartier Panthère bracelet on. The life or death moment that happens in this film centers on his driver's son, who is an ex-convict, not his own. That decision point, who deserves to be saved, who deserves more attention, who deserves sacrifice, it is keeping inequity front and center in this film. The police protect David, but they distrust Paul, the ex-convict, who is played by the immaculate Jeffrey Wright. You can never tell me anything wrong about Jeffrey Wright, and if there's something wrong with Jeffrey Wright, I don't want to hear it. And this reminds us how even friendship bends under systemic bias. Now, I don't know if some of the choices that David made, I would have made. I mean, nobody's asking me for upward of 10 million in order to release my son. I don't have 10 million and I don't have a son. But I imagine that if I did, it would not even be a question. The fact that they were so brutal about some of the choices they made in this film struck a nerve. Next, visibility mattering. Social media and the current industry were brought front and center. This is where this film kind of pivoted to commentary on culture. Denzel's David King stands for an old school music business type of guy who's rooted in gospel and jazz and believes in slow building talent. The Kidnapper represents the new, that is digital, viral, social media is driving, and that is in the background the entire time. Social media is playing as a judge and jury the entire time. And when these things come together through these two characters, one played by ASAP and the other played by Denzel, their confrontation plays like a rap battle literally across generations. It is a duel for the ages between legacy and disruption. Some critics say this is where the script got clunky, but for me, that tension is real. It's that kind of colliding of visibility. Again, who gets seen, who gets heard, and on what terms. There was the point about where art stands right now. Spike Lee makes this film as much about production as the plot. David is fighting for control of his label, not just for money, but to own his legacy, to own the archive. And it raises the question, is art a commodity, a community, or is it both? That answer doesn't come clean, and some call the movie conservative in that regard, and it's a nostalgia play for older forms of Black music. Others see this as Spike's meditation on what happens when artists lose control of their work to conglomerates, and I believe that. I think that that's where he was coming from with that. There were these beautiful, beautiful shots of the Brooklyn Bridge, as I mentioned. And I thought when Spike Lee first started out, him capturing those shots, he would actually have to go through the work of getting this done, not typing into a drone a code that had been produced by AI in order to have the drone just go back up and easily shoot that scene for him. There is this collision that is happening, and I know that Spike Lee is grappling with that. But either way, it asks us, the film asks us, what do we value more, the art or the empire that it builds? And we literally see that tension, that conflict play out in the dialogue in this film. All right, I'm so sorry, but I gotta call this out. I gotta call this out, okay? Beloved, come in, come closer. Colorism. Colorism, y'all. I only counted one deeply melanated character, and the character actually fit into tropes. She was useful. She was the smartest in the room. This was one of the lead detectives on their case, who was a brown-skinned woman, and also we get through the dialogue that she was educated at one of the top HBCUs in the country, and she knew the answers. People were not listening to her throughout the movie, so in that regard, that's accurate, sadly. But she played that position, this character played that position well. Everybody else, most of the other women, from highest to lowest, no matter where they fell with regard to wealth, those women who were spotlit were all lighter shade Black women. Whether it was the wife, whether it was a cameo from Ice Spice, A$AP Rocky's woman who lived in El Barrio, or the artist that was featured towards the end, the singer. Here's the thing, especially with the singer, that choice to me came off as deliberate. She was amazing, but did she give me chills? No. You could have had even Coco Jones play that part, and people would have lost it in that movie theater. These choices are deliberate. Now listen, I know there may be bias on Spike's side because his wife, who I've met and I love, she is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful person. She's a lighter woman. In most of his films, Spike has talked about this from School Days on. I just think that given where we are in 2025, he could have made a different choice. And given that Denzel Washington in real life, his wife is heavily melanated, a different choice could have been made. This choice was intentional. I have to knock off a star for that very reason. And while I'm here, while we're talking moments of truth, I get into battles with people over Denzel Washington's timelessness. Like, listen, Denzel Washington, handsome man, beautiful gowns, there's no doubt about it at all. Denzel Washington, especially during the days of Mo Better Blues and Malcolm X, I mean, top tier. Like, this man, gorgeous, cannot be denied. He is aging, and he is a handsome man while aging. You ain't never gonna hear me knock somebody for age. Somebody could be 100 years old. If a man is fine, he's fine. But there are men who are finer. I'll leave it at that. Moving on. So is highest to lowest perfect? No, it's not. Sometimes it is long drawn. Sometimes it is overindulgent. But that is Spike Lee. And that's what I love about Spike Lee, is that he is overindulgent. He is extra. And you can see that in this movie. The movie is all those things, but it's also daring. It's New York. It's Spike Lee grappling with legacy, with power, with inequity, and a city that he has always known how to shoot better than anyone, hands down. You cannot fight me on that. Again, I'm a New Yorker. Not by proxy, but this man knows how to shoot it better than anybody else. And Denzel, in spite of what I said, he is magnetic. There is swagger, there's anguish, there's everything in between. And when you pair that with Jeffrey Wright, the subtle brilliance, and A$AP Rocky's breakout, I saw in the previews, he actually has another film coming that looks like it's going to be fantastic. It looks a little bit more serious. Let me tell you who's in the background making calls. He's talented, but believe me. Miss Fenty is making calls, okay? When you bring all of those entities together, you have a film that really sticks. I would definitely recommend this film, and I am going to see the film again. It definitely got me. Whether you're here for Spike Lee's version of New York, the cultural commentary, or just to watch Denzel, you need to catch this one. I told you I would not be on here for a long time, but for a Spike Lee joint giving time, and I delivered. Share this with somebody who needs a little bit of inspiration today. Your guys, your girlies, somebody who loves cinema, whoever. Hit that like button, subscribe, and remember, until next time, you are capable of big things.